Hey, welcome back to another episode of American Made Classics. Got my daily driver Jeep here, my 2004 Grand Cherokee, and well, it's got the check engine light, and we're going to try to figure out what the heck's going on here. I've actually kind of dug into it a little bit, but I will kind of take you through the process of where I'm at right now and get you up to speed, and also tell you what my plans for figuring it out and fixing it. So with that said, let's get to work. So the first thing you're going to want to do if this is happening to you, which if this is happening to you and you're watching this video, chances are you've already had your codes read and scanned, well, either by the dealership or maybe someplace that offers code scanning. But anyway, I'm going to show you how I got mine, or I found my issue. Here's my code scanner. It's a Super Chips brand code scanner and tuner. So as we go inside here, I'm going to hook it up down here. All right, finally with it plugged in, let this thing boot up. Okay, I want to go over here to scan. Read. We're going to read them. Okay, now I'm going to turn my ignition on. Okay. Turn off the copyrighted music. Okay. Okay, we're going to cycle through. And I've got a P0051 H02 heater control circuit low, bank 2 sensor 1. Yeah. So, after a little bit of troubleshooting, found exactly what this thing's talking about, and that happens to be the O2 circuit on the passenger side of the engine. And that's going to be the upstream. So what it means by bank 2 means whatever is on the, so the number 2 side of the cylinder. So here's your 4.7 liter V8. You got cylinder 1 on this side, which is right here. Cylinder 2 is right here. So they're going to say this is bank 1 because it's got cylinder 1. This is bank 2 because it has cylinder 2. So that's bank 2. So it's going to be on the passenger side. So we're on the passenger side. And it says sensor 1, so that's going to be the one that comes before the catalytic converter. And there's also sensor 2, and that would just simply mean downstream of the catalytic converter. So that's what my issue is, and I'm pretty sure that my O2 sensor is shot, and I'll just have to be replacing it. Another thing I kind of did some troubleshooting and looking online was to check these fuses right here. That one and that one. Just make sure those are good. Because if those sensors are failed down there, it'll blow one of the 2 fuses. I believe one of them is bank 1, one of them is bank 2. But just check to make sure these are good, in which case mine are. So I'm happy with that. But if they're blowing for you, well, what you could do possibly to troubleshoot that is, obviously replace the fuse. Well, first of all, unplug all your sensors. There'll be 4 of them. So you got bank 1, 1 and 2, bank 2, 1 and 2, and simply replace it and just plug them in one at a time. And when that blows, you know which sensor is bad. So that'd be the one to change. But in my case, it pretty much easily calls out it's bank 2 sensor 1. So That's my culprit. Pretty sure it needs replacing. And I don't have the new sensor yet, which I'm going to have to go get. But I'm going to show you right now, and I'll probably just remove it since I'm down here. We're going to remove that sensor right now. So the first thing you're going to want to do is get your vehicle jacked up. And I just have these good old-fashioned oil change ramps that I just drove my Grand Cherokee up on. Got my little nice kneeling pad under there. And I got it positioned on the passenger side because that's where we got to go, is on the passenger side. Okay. Oh, man. Oh, jeez. Okay. I also got a coolant leak, but I'm just going to pretend I didn't see that. I'm getting dripped on. Okay. So when you're under here now, all right, see if I can get you to rotate it in a position that you can see clearly. This cobbled mess is your two catalytic converters. Now we're facing downstream, so this is the rear of the car. That's the passenger side, and this is the driver's side. All right. So this is your driver's side catalytic converter. Ouch, that's kind of hot. I didn't even have that car started that long. Anyway, and this is your passenger side. All right. Kind of see how they snake up in here. Here's your oil pan right here. Okay. So passenger side, and let's see if I can even see the downstream. I don't even know where the downstream one, oh, there it is. So here's your downstream one right there on the passenger side, if you can see that. Right here. And the downstream driver's side's right there. My finger in here. I'm pointing at it right there. So those would be sensors 2. Bank 1 and Bank 2, sensor 2. So upstream, as I'm looking at the passenger side, I'm following it up. Okay, got some stuff, got some bars here. Anyway, this is your front axle. Here's your front stabilizer bar. This is your steering linkage right here. Okay, try my best to keep the camera oriented correctly for you. All right, how can I get you up in here? They don't make this easy, that's for sure. Okay, I'm going to point with my finger right here. That is your Bank 2 sensor 1 O2 sensor. So in my case, this is what's bad, and I need to replace that. And I think there's another way to look at it here, so I'm going to come underneath it here again. Okay, oh, here's a good spot to see it. This is where I'm going to get my wrench up in there to get it off. There it is. Get my finger in here to point. There you go. That is the Bank 2 sensor 1. All right. And that's going to be a 22 millimeter wrench to get that puppy off. And you're going to want to spin it, of course, counterclockwise to unscrew it. I'll rotate the camera again here. All right. Kind of see where we are here. There is the catalytic converter, passenger side. And you literally just follow it up and you'll find the guy. Just follow it up into the engine. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is unplug it. So all we do for that is follow the cable, the cord. And it's right here. Here's our cord cable. Move around. And right here is going to be the plug. Right here. So I'm going to have to look here. I believe it's going to be some type of tab. I'll have to probably push back. I'm going to have to clean off some of the dirt. So, I'm going to clean off the dirt, and I'll get right back to you. All right, I got the dirt cleaned off of it here. And you can kind of make it out a little better. I actually ended up, it's actually like stuck to this, whatever this is. It's a wire loom. I actually just pulled it right out, and when I put it back together, I'll just zip tie it in place. And I think that'll be just fine. But anyway, so I wiped it off, and it exposes this big old button right there. Can you kind of see that? It's a button. So I'm just going to take my thumb and stick it on that button, right? And I'm just going to pull. There. And there it is. It's pulled off. And I see there's even a zip tie down here, so I'll have to remember to cut that and then reapply. Actually, that's not even a zip tie. That just comes right off. If you take a screwdriver here and you undo this right here, if you just pry it up, it'll loosen up right here, then that'll come right off. So anyway, I'll have to do that. But now this is unplugged. I can get at the actual O2 itself. Get underneath here a bit more, actually. Gonna find my wrench. 1 second. All right, so I'm back under here. I got my 22 millimeter. And I have no idea if I'm gonna be able to get this off easily or not, or if you'd think this thing has a bunch of heat cycles. That could actually make it worse, heat cycles. But maybe it would be easy to remove. Plus, I just had the car running a little bit, not that long, and it was definitely warm to the touch. So I want to go lefty-loosey, so I want to go this. Wow, okay, that was really easy. It just came loose. I don't think it's supposed to be that easy. And it might not be as easy for you, and now it's binding. Okay, I got it. Okay. So I'm gonna put the camera down. As you can see, I got her loose, and I'm gonna get her pulled out. So I got her pulled out, and inspecting it for damage here, and I really don't see any damage at all that would lead me to believe that this thing is faulty, but it must be. So if you look here, try to position this properly. It's kind of blurry, but you'll have to believe me, there is a part number on here. So I'm going to go down to my nearest 000 Advance Auto Parts store, whatever has what I need, and hopefully they get me the right one. Unfortunately though, I got to go to work, and I'm going to have to continue this tomorrow, but for you it's going to be in like 5 seconds as soon as I'm done recording this little spot here. And we'll get back to working on this right after I get that part and do my duty and do the growing up thing and go to work. So I'll be back. Hang tight. All right, it's the next day. I got the part. Here it is. So for this particular sensor, part number 2344653. Now remember, if you're, whatever oxygen sensor you're working on is going to have a different part number. I mean, the actual sensor itself is the same, I believe, for all four. It should be, like, I'm 99% sure. The only thing that's going to be different is the length of the pigtail for the connection. So anyway, this particular oxygen sensor unfortunately is a cheap knockoff, because I thought I was getting a Bosch. It turns out that Bosch is a generic, universal, doesn't have a end. It doesn't even have a pigtail on it. So, like, what the heck am I going to do with that? It's freaking useless. So the only thing they had in stock was this cheap stuff, and I've always heard not so good stuff about that, but we're going to see how it works. I'm hoping that this is the one time where I don't have to buy the Mopar version. Maybe I'll get away with using this cheap Chinesium. So anyway, we're going to get it out, get it installed, and we'll see what happens. Here we go. So what's actually kind of cool is they provided their own anti-seize. So I mean, I was going to use my own, but I mean, this stuff looks exactly like what I would have put on anyway. So I'm going to put some on the threads and then get her, sandwiched back up in there, back up in the bung here. All right, I got the new O2 sensor installed, and I got this clamp holding the loom just like the other one did. And then I also, because I took this connector out of its loom, I just used a zip tie right here and a zip tie on the top, and now this ain't flopping around and ain't gonna move and maybe go anywhere where it shouldn't. So All right, so now we got to try to clear the code, and hopefully it stays off. So I got my my scanner that you know, actually I've never had the best of luck with this. Sometimes it clears the code and sometimes it doesn't. So we'll see what happens here. So for you, if you have your own scanner, or if you can go to like any old parts store like O'Reilly's or Advance, they will clear that as well. So for me, I'm going to try it with this. Read clear. I want to clear. Okay, I'm going to turn my ignition on. Okay, turn off the air. Okay, turn ignition on, yes. Clearing. I don't know what that means, but okay. Hopefully that means cleared, that's all I can say. All right. I'll shut the ignition back off, turn it back on, and start it up. And there's still check engine light there. Just as I thought. That's nice. And it's beeping at me. Well, what the hell? As I've said, I have not had the best of luck with this gosh darn thing. This thing never seems to work right. So I might have to go to myself, take it over to O'Reilly's or Advance and have them clear it. So as I'm going to be on my way to O'Reilly's, I just want to point out one thing that I got to commend Jeep on, is the perfect placement of the steering wheel. So as you're driving, you don't even know you have a check engine light because you got to look down below the steering wheel. But normal driving, you don't even need a black piece of tape because you got the steering wheel. Do that for you. Must be casual Saturday, huh?
Absolutely, sir.
Always the finest quality here at O'Reilly's.
Nothing but the best.
So what do we got? Yep, that's what I pick up. I put a new O2 sensor in, so can we try clearing it?
Sure.
One moment. Erase successful. Well, that's what I want. That's what I want to see. I like your Band-Aid.
Well,
It's finest.
I didn't have time yesterday to replace my Band-Aid. Because I worked too hard here at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
That's
in
right.
Wisconsin Rapids.
Yep. Emissions related engine, no powertrain. Okay, so it's effectively erased, right?
Yeah, so, you know, go
Should we
drive it around for 15 minutes.
So you should be able to start it up. Hey, it ain't there no more. All right, yeah, we'll drive it around for a little bit and see if it worked out.
I think it's one of them, or it might be a key cycle thing too. Some of them are key cycles and some of them were like a 15-minute drive doing more than 25 miles an hour.
Yeah, I don't know, that freaking scanner I have used to work, now it doesn't clear anything, so I don't know. It's weird.
I just updated mine. Well, not just, I guess I was putting this one.
Well, alrighty, I'll drive it around. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, so it appears that the O2 sensor replacement is a success, which I'm happy about. The check engine light has stayed off for about, I put about 50-75-ish miles on the car since this morning. Drove around and to a couple stops, took the long way, took the back road type of thing, and make sure I cycled the ignition a few times just to make sure that, you know, I needed to see a couple key cycles. So yeah, I'm gonna say it's fixed, and I'm gonna go with that. So like I said, this is bank 2 sensor 1, so this is the upstream sensor, and like I said, it should all be the same O2 sensors, but the only difference is the pigtail length. So keep that in mind for whatever you're working on, or if you're working on the same one as I am. That's pretty straightforward. But if you're working on, you know, bank 1 sensor 1 or bank 1 sensor 2 or whatever, the other 3, just make sure you got the right part number. and I will list those part numbers, the Mopar part number, not the replacement. So basically take the Mopar part number and cross-reference to the one you need, and I will put them in the description, the link, or I'll put them in the description below. Okay? So there you go. Hey, thanks for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Hopefully this helped you out. And if you're interested in seeing some of my other projects, as you can see, I got quite a few of them laying around here. The normal content is American Motors, AMC products. Always got something going on. So, hey, if you want to see some of that, hit the subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.